All right, morning everyone. Welcome to another episode of Market Trading. I am your host, Tone Vays, coming to you a little bit earlier than usual. Let me make sure that my camera starts properly for a change. I'm not sure it did. Market Trading. I'm your host, Tone Vays, coming to you a little bit earlier than usual. All right, I don't know why I was listening to myself, but let me do something real quick here. Yeah, my camera zoomed out right after I went live. I don't know why it does that now. I don't know. I have to get off Zoom. Zoom in. That's a little bit better. That's good enough. Okay. One of these days I'll figure it out. Because I have to go to the airport. I am flying to Japan. My flight departs in about 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours. But I also need to go and get a haircut and get a shave before I get to the airport, and I still need to pack. Therefore, I know I'll be running to that airport because I am on my haircut schedule a little bit too close for comfort. So if I don't do a video right now, there may not be a video for a while. There's a 14-hour flight. I already have plans in Japan, Jimmy Songs in Japan. We got a carnivore dinner coming up right after I land. So there may not be a video for a couple of days. So I wanted to make sure I get this in. You guys really got to join Spaces. Wow. We had an awesome discussion about the price of Bitcoin in Spaces just the other day. It was on Saturday. Hope everyone had a good Mother's Day. Hope everyone had flowers. I posted on my Instagram. All my personal stuff is on my Instagram. I really should start using Instagram more for price predictions as well. All right. Yeah, Australia people should still be awake, so it's good for them. Oh, I can't wait to eat a bunch of Wagyu steak out there and some good fish. All right. Anyway, I am limited on time, so let's go to the charts. Okay, you know what? We'll go to the weekly chart first. On a weekly scale, we touched the 200-week moving average. We did break the Lucid SAR, which is not ideal. However, we did bounce right off the moving average, and there is about to be a moving average crossover. And it's not the golden cross. The golden cross is officially when the 50 crosses the 200. But we are going to have the 20 crossing the 200, and it's better than nothing. Let me make sure I'm streaming in high definition here. Yeah, we have 1080p. Perfect. All right, so I did expect us to fall back to this moving average. We did a couple of weeks later, and now it's time for Bitcoin to rise to 34,000. Let's see if it does. Our most important chart for today is our allocation chart. We dropped 20% off of our allocation. The wise thing to do would have been to drop 30 to 40% off the allocation, but I didn't get to it in time, and I decided to sit through it. I know I shouldn't be messing around with Consensio. Tyler Jenks would have been more conservative, but because we did not drop our position to, say, 60%, that is the reason why I had no intention of buying this dip. I'm comfortable with this 80% allocation, and when we get back above 28,000, I'm happy to go back into a 100% bullish position and wait for new swing highs. Our next most important chart is, of course, the daily chart. This was my projection. I'm going to get this projection out the way. I'm actually going to delete it. It's not necessary anymore. I'll just explain my point. My point was that I expected us to rebound on this day. This was going to be the day of the rebound according to the MRI. And rebound we did, but the low wasn't made in the last 48 hours. Ideally, for the absolute perfect MRI bottom, you want to see the low in price and potentially a low-ish close as well. on this day. We're not going to get that. So this is one of those things that separates the MRI from one of I want to use my words carefully here. One of the inspirations for the MRI is Tom DeMark sequential indicator. And actually, prior to that, it was called the sequential indicator, presented by Larry Williams and only Larry Williams. And I have the documents from that presentation as well. So we start with the sequential indicator, then we move on to the Tom DeMark sequential indicator. And then there is another reference. So actually, if you want to read the references real quick, if you find the MRI on TradingView, this is it. You get, the first, you can see the first 10 lines of code. And you read the description of the MRI. It's a full description. I wrote this a few years ago. Probably should update it, but I can't update it. I have to update the whole indicator. I give credit. Is it in here or is it on the website? Might not be in here. No, it's on the website. Let's go to the website. Because it is important. People accuse me of all kinds of shit. If you go to the website and read the description of the MRI on the website, oh, I was on it. So it's products and services, MRI indicator. Right here, I talk about how I put this together. And Tyler Jenks provided me with those documents, and we discussed it in detail. There's the Tom DeMark sequential. There's the original sequential right there. Sequential third element of thrust dynamics. So this is the document. I'm probably not allowed to post the whole document. Copyright 1980 by Larry Williams. This is the original sequential. You see Tyler Jenks's name on that. This was one of the very prized possessions that was passed on to me by Tyler Jenks's family. This workshop was only taught, I believe, 4 times, and that's it. And it was in 1979 and 1980, and or 1980 and 1981. And Tyler Jenks was one of probably 100 people that ever attended this live. So that's the original document. I have it. Like I said, one of my prized possessions. And 1980s document. Then there is the Tom DeMark TD sequential, which is slightly different. Document's gone. That's unfortunate. So those are the references. I also give a shout out to one more person, and I don't see him here. Huh. Maybe it's later. No. So anyway, there were other inspirations. Like the person actually taught it to me as well, before I met Tyler Jenks. Anyway, the point is, one of the things that separates the MRI from the TD sequential of Tom DeMark is that the TD sequential would not have had a buy indication on this candle, and it would not have had a buy indication on this candle. So the indicators are different. Those that think they're not, they are. So if we look at the MRI, so here are the last 5 times the MRI indicated a potential buying opportunity. So in the last 5 times, this worked out really well, February 13. This was the most perfect buy call I've seen on Bitcoin. This is as good as any buy call I've ever seen on Bitcoin on a daily scale. This was on March 10th. We did have a buy indication on March 1st, which By the way, I'm not sure if this would have been a buy indication on Tom DeMark's indicator. I'm not sure. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I'd have to like dig into it a little further. What was the close here? 21,797. 29,798. It probably was on Tom DeMark's indicator as well, probably. But again, like I said, this indicator is different. Just to be clear, MRI is different. Right here, Tom DeMark's indicator would not have told you to buy, and clearly this was not a great buying opportunity. It was that day, but it didn't last very long, and the red star would tell you to get the hell out. And then this buying opportunity was very good. It lasted for a little while. And then this buying opportunity, we'll see. But once again, the MRI has done its job. But these last two, they would not have been indicated on Tom DeMark's indicator. So just to be clear, these are different. There are differences. Out of curiosity, how is MRI indicator any different from TD sequential? Oh, Manny, I'm answering your question. Thank you for asking. There are differences. I can't point out all the differences because that would cut into my, some proprietary formulas in the code. But there are some differences. Hey, Tone, where are you staying in Japan? I'm staying in Tokyo for 3 nights. Starting tomorrow night, and then I'm in Osaka for 3 nights, and then I'm in Kyoto for 3 nights, and then I have like 10 more days, and I haven't decided yet. Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate the comment. So what am I thinking now? Well, right now, I'm thinking just a 1 to 4 candle correction to the upside. And let's see how Bitcoin handles the 50-period moving average. That's going to be a big make or break point for Bitcoin. It is very, very possible. I'm gonna delete this arrow. It's just in the way now. I mean, that arrow was pretty accurate. We hit the target of that arrow few days earlier. I was really hoping would rebound starting today or tomorrow, which we are. But I was hoping to rebound from a slightly lower level. But hey, nothing's perfect. I'm going to delete it. So now I'm looking at this. And from there, the most likely outcome is downside to touch the 128-day moving average before rising. That's the most likely outcome, is something like that. Okay. But it's also possible we break out. Either way, I think the downside's limited. I'm going to make this arrow red. And let's see how Bitcoin handles the 50-period moving average. But I would like to see it touch the 128. I would like to see it touch the 120. Oh yeah, I'll fix it. Let me fix the video title, because otherwise I just look like a retard. Which I am, by the way. Especially when it comes to spelling. All right, hopefully that'll work. Can't fix the tweet though. Okay. For our chart, well, this was that line in the sand. Not line in the sand, but this was a line. Remember what I said? I would go long off of this 4-hour MRI buy, and my stop loss would probably be like right there. And well, it happens sometimes. Your stop loss gets hit. In fact, the low was taken out, and then immediately it went back up. So my trade would have been busted. And this is why I like to trade larger time frames, so I don't have to deal with this insanity on short-term time frames of such a volatile asset. Thanks, Lex. Appreciate the kind words. I misspelled something else? Jesus. Oh, God. Well, in my defense, it is like 7 in the morning and I haven't slept yet. And there's a reason why I haven't slept. And unfortunately, I'm not even tired. I slept for like 10 minutes, which was a mistake. The 10 minutes was a mistake. It should have been 0. So, and the reason for that is it doesn't look like I'm going to get my business class upgrade because 3 a-holes bought a business class ticket in the last 12 hours. So I'm second in the upgrade list. If I show you my phone, I'm second in the upgrade list for a free business class ticket with a bed. And there were 3 empty seats in business 12 hours ago. And now there aren't. So now there's no empty seats in business. So I'm, shit out of luck. So I'm stuck in, cattle class. At least I have some extra leg room for 14 hours. And my flight departs at noon Eastern time. And it lands at 2 p.m. in Tokyo. And I did not sleep all night with the hope of passing out on that flight because I have dinner plans when I get to Tokyo and I can't deal with jet lag. So my plan was not to sleep in the US all night. And when I got on the plane, be so tired that I sleep for 10 hours, especially if I'm an economy. Like, I just want to pass out. Wow. How many things did I misspell? It's so bad. How do I misspell like half the words in my title? I really am dyslexic when it comes to reading and writing. I don't bullshit you guys. This is why I don't read much. I can't. But this is also why I have 3 STEM degrees. I would have. It's the only way I can get a degree. It wasn't easy either. No, I'm nowhere next to a toilet, but I can't control screaming kids. Okay, so right now we're about to challenge an area of resistance. I think Bitcoin is going to struggle this morning when the stock market opens. Let me see how the stock market is set to open. Let's go to the daily charts. Oh, I like this. Oh, my alarm's going off. It's 8 in the morning. It's a backup alarm. Flight departs in 4 hours. A little less than that, actually. In 3.5 hours, my flight departs. And I have a haircut appointment in an hour and a half. So I'm cutting it close. Cutting it super close. And it's a head shave plus like, fixing my beard. So it actually takes like 45 minutes. I mean, there's still a chance. I'm hoping that there's like 8 people coming in on a connecting flight or something before they go to Japan. And I'm really hoping that flight's delayed. Like if like 3 people don't, 2 people, I just need 2 people not to show up for their business class seat, and I get my upgrade. Just 2 people. I like this daily. I like this S&P candle right there. That looks good. That looks good. All right, let's look at a few other markets. Then I gotta get the packing. Oh boy. Well, actually, I can't look at GBTC because it hasn't opened yet. Oil. Oil is going to be interesting. Once again, we wait for our numbers. We wait till Thursday to see the numbers. One second. Yeah, so we're gonna wait till Thursday. The last week we had the biggest percent decline all year. Happened last week. So let's see what happens when the numbers come out for next week. Gold is I think gold's gonna break out. Bullish on gold. And the S&P is still, holding that support for dear life. DXY, yeah, I haven't looked at DXY in a while. Oh, Bernoulli gave me his list of all publicly traded miners. How is Bitfarms doing? Nope, that's not Bitfarms. Hey, it's down to below $1, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna open above $1. Yeah, we can look at DXY. So this is the daily DXY. Let's go to weekly. Look, I am bullish on the dollar. I think the dollar is going to go to new all-time highs, mostly because the dollar is measured against the euro. Mostly. Euro, Japanese yen, British pound, a bunch of currencies that are just shittier than the US dollar. The currency to watch out for is the Russian ruble. That's the currency that people should really keep an eye on. And let me see what it's doing. The Russian ruble is appreciating. This is the weekly chart. Oh no, it was appreciating. This is a new week. So yeah, Ukrainians had some success in their quasi counteroffensive. We'll see if the full counteroffensive begins. But they had some success. They shut down a couple of Russian helicopters, a couple of Russian fighter planes. That success, though that success was followed by Russia blowing up their ammo depot in West Ukraine, including the nuclear weapons that I consider them nuclear weapons. What do you call them? Depleted uranium shells that British gave them. To me, they give off radiation, so I consider them nuclear weapons. And these weapons, I think, should be illegal because they, well, for obvious reasons. You should watch a documentary on the U.S. used them in Yugoslavia, and then the U.S. used them in Iraq. And I think those were war crimes by the United States to use the depleted uranium. And the British gave these to the Ukrainians. Russians just blew them up. And as far as I'm concerned, the UK is now responsible for civilian radiation in Ukraine. by giving them those shells. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate situation. So the Russian ruble is starting to devalue against the US dollar. So let's see what the rest of the week brings. Anytime Ukraine is, or anytime Russia seems that Russia is not winning, it doesn't mean that Ukraine's winning, but when Russia is not winning, Russian currency devalues, and when the world sees that Russia is making significant ground, Russian currency appreciates. All right, guys, I need to get going. I need to start packing for Japan. And I gotta head off. Loving the samurai buy on daily. Talked about Monday being the reversal day. So it's been Monday for about 8 hours. And that's when we started pumping. Can you take a look at the DXY weekly MRI? Sure. Oh yeah, there it is. Beautiful. Look at that. The weekly MRI, I didn't even notice. Weekly MRI right there on an MRI buy. Again, this probably would not be a buy on Tom DeMark's indicators. This is why the MRI is different. It does differ than Tom DeMark's sequential, or TD. I think that's the name of it. They differ. They're not the same. Just want to make that clear. They're not the same. This one would have been, and I'm pretty sure this one would have been, but not this one. Not this one. There's other differences as well. That's not the only difference. I gotta get alphanumerics on the show. Oh, I will in June when I get back. When I get back to the US from Japan. No diamonds. So alphanumerics did not match up. But I also need a refresher on alphanumerics. And no diamonds here as well. There was one right there. Ooh, alphanumerics looks bearish. Alphanumerics is still bearish. I differ from alphanumerics. Actually, Matt texted me yesterday. He's like, Tone, I'm bearish and you're bullish, and that almost never happens. I got that tweet from him yesterday. I'm like, we'll see. We'll see who's going to be right on this one. Usually we're completely in line. Almost. He's like, this might be the first time this year we differ on larger time scales like daily and weekly. We differ on small time scales. I think it's leaning bearish on weekly as well. But I'm also leaning bearish on weekly. It's the daily. The daily I'm leaning bullish right now, and alphanumerics is still bearish. Let's see what happens in a couple of days. Because remember, in a couple of days, I could turn bearish, and then I'll be in line with alphanumerics, which is bearish right now. but I'm only bullish for 4 days and until 28.5. And then I'm going to reevaluate the whole shebang on a daily scale. Thanks, Dodged. Thoughts on Google versus Microsoft versus Facebook under AI war? I really couldn't care less. I honestly couldn't care less. I'm not sure which of these companies I hate the most. Probably Microsoft because of Bill Gates. And second is probably Facebook because, the wokeness of Zuckerberg. And Google is a little more democratic. It's a little more, democratically run company. But the other two are straight up dictatorships. GBTC Premium, I can't look at it. The market hasn't started trading yet today, and it's coming off a weekend. It's I have to next time. There's nothing to say on it. Hey guys, the Financial Summit is coming to the UAE November 5 to 10. This is where we discuss indicators and other trading opportunities. That's where I learned about alphanumerics. He came to the event, he presented his indicator, and I'm like, wow, this is awesome. Hopefully he's going to make it to Dubai. I think he is. I know he wants to come. Lives out in Australia. Feel bad for him. So hopefully he'll come back to Dubai. He loved the event. And for those more interested in Bitcoin, come out to Unconfiscatable, taking place in Las Vegas, early December. All right, guys, I got to get going. If you are interested in trading, check out products and services, MRI, on-demand videos, free learn trading section. You can wait till, Thanksgiving when I'll drop the prices a little bit. But if you want to support my channel, pick them up now. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. And I will see you all on the next one. Bye, guys. I got to resend the tweet. Too many spelling errors. Bye, guys. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms that are watching.